Right now at 6, order granted. New updates tonight in a disturbing arrest of a divorced teenager. And more Ukrainians try to escape their country as Russia continues their invasion of the nation.
I think it's very important that everyone who has a voice, speak out against the atrocities that we're seeing in Ukraine.
Plus, a call to action from Madison's mayor saying it's time for everyone to play their role in supporting Ukraine. That's all coming up at 6. Well, we start with new details tonight into a case in DeForest. A woman has filed a restraining order against a 19-year-old who allegedly stalked and planned to kidnap her. That teenager, Gabrielle Savage, appeared in court yesterday. The restraining order was granted. An injunction hearing for the order is set for next Friday. Savage is currently being held on a $10,000 bond. Court papers show on the night of March 20th, police found him in a car parked in the wrong direction with his lights off. Police say a loaded gun and handcuffs were on the seat next to him. A $25,000 signature bond was set yesterday for a Marquette County Sheriff's deputy accused of soliciting sex from a minor. Travis Biddleman was arrested this week. He faces 2 charges, including using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime. For the latest updates on these stories, make sure you have our Channel 3000 News app. It's free and available in the App Store. All right, let's take a look outside. This is a live look at your capital tonight. The sun finally showed up again today, but how long will it last? This time of year, our weather can change quickly, and there is an alert day in the forecast, but it's not for the cold and the snow. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is outside with your certified most accurate forecast.
Brad, things are going to change pretty quickly. We do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. That is for the potential for severe weather. There's the possibility that we could see some severe thunderstorms with high winds, hail, and even isolated tornadoes as temperatures get up close to 70 degrees. A far cry from where we've been most of the last few days. Visible cloud track shows the sunshine returning. That allowed temperatures to get up into the 50s today. As we look at Doppler track, you can see pretty much quiet weather. Finally, the snow is gone from the upper Midwest. Low temperatures this morning, just below freezing in Madison at 30. To the north and west, where skies cleared a little bit earlier, temperatures were in the 20s. High temperatures so far today have been in the lower 50s through much of the area away from Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan keeping temperatures in the 40s there, but mid to upper 50s over southwestern Wisconsin, and still 54 in Janesville, 51 right now in Madison. So by tomorrow morning, temperatures will drop back to around the freezing mark with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine in the morning, more clouds and windy conditions in the afternoon with a high of 56. But again, we'll take a look at that severe weather threat for the middle part of the week in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Gary. Topping our headlines out of Eastern Europe tonight, trains were not running today out of an Eastern Ukraine railway station after a missile attack killed at least 52 people who were hoping to flee the region. CBS News' Elise Preston has the latest details on the war.
Civilians are struggling to find alternate ways to evacuate eastern Ukraine after a suspected Russian missile strike killed dozens and wounded more than 100 at a train station. The victims were trying to leave the region ahead of an expected Russian onslaught in its war on Ukraine. British military intelligence says Russia continues to hit Ukrainian non-combatants. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged a firm global response to the train station attack, calling it another Russian war crime. On Sunday's 60 Minutes, Zelensky speaks with Scott Pelley.
What evidence is there of war crimes across Ukraine?
The Ukrainian Security Service has intercepted communications, he told us. There are Russian soldiers talking to their parents about what they stole and who they abducted. There are recordings of Russian prisoners of war who admitted to killing people.
In a Boston vigil, long rows of children's shoes symbolize the war's youngest casualties. In New York City, a group held a mostly silent protest.
To bring attention to the fact that Russian soldiers in Ukraine are raping women and children. They are torturing men, women, and children, and they are murdering everything that they see in sight.
As it ended, the event was punctuated by a collective scream, organizers say, to give voice to the pain of the Ukrainian people. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
United States intelligence officials say Vladimir Putin may be trying to use the White House's support of Ukraine as a way to once again interfere with American politics. In more local news tonight, a day of solidarity with Ukraine. That's what Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway declared during a rally outside of the state capitol this afternoon. A group of Ukrainian supporters joined the mayor in a call for action to end Russia's aggression in the country.
So I think it is important for us to stand in solidarity with the people of Ukraine and to show support for the folks in our community that are from Ukraine, the refugees that are here, or folks that have Ukrainian roots.
The Forward Marching Band was also in attendance today, and Mayor Rhodes Conway also called the Russian invasion heartbreaking and doesn't know anyone who isn't brought to tears by some of the images, stories, and reports from the war-torn country. And Forward Madison FC wearing some new jerseys tonight for their home opener. They feature blue and yellow colors with the words "United for Ukraine" displayed across the front. In Rock County, people are also looking for ways to offer a helping hand to Ukrainian refugees. Tamia Folks joins us now with more.
It's been 44 days since Russia first invaded Ukraine, and ever since, its impact has continued to touch the lives of people all across the globe, including here in Wisconsin. Today, members of the Janesville community gathered to spotlight the stories of refugees and Ukrainian citizens. Through a fundraising event called Music for Ukraine, organizers used fellowship, song, and prayer to uplift the voices of Ukrainian refugees.
This is a community event, and we want to reach out and say, we're thinking of you and praying for you and hoping for the best.
Through music, event organizers wanted to offer comfort and hope to community members. Tonight at 10, I'll explore the stories of families directly impacted by the crisis in Ukraine and share some additional resources to help those in need.
All right, thanks so much, Tamia. New tonight, there's another case of the bird flu right here in Wisconsin. State officials said this morning that they confirmed a case of the avian flu in a flock in Barron County. That's the fourth confirmed case in the Badger State over the past month. Earlier this week, officials said that the birds are most likely got the virus after having contact with other wild birds.
And in each case, we think these two are independent, and we think each of them is introduction from a wild bird contact of some sort.
The birds at each facility were killed to keep the virus from spreading. The avian flu has also been found in wild birds in other parts of the state, including Dane, Columbia, and Grant counties. Next tonight at 6, some tragic news tonight out of the NFL. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins has died. He was killed this morning in South Florida after being hit by a truck on the highway. Haskins has been in South Florida working with other quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers on the Steelers. And Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin says he is devastated by Haskins' death. Haskins joined Pittsburgh last year, and Tomlin says he's been one of the hardest workers on the team, both on the field and in the community. Haskins was Washington's first-round pick in 2018 out of Ohio State, and he was just 24 years old. Ketanji Brown Jackson isn't the only black woman making history this week. After the break, we are going to hear from the first woman of color to serve as a judge in Rock County. And tonight at 10, a Madison man is honored by his community for his commitment to helping everyone find a place to live. We're going to share that story tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rose and Roseau Spas, Hot Tubs, and Swim Spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, contact and soft capture complete, attenuation in progress.
All right, for the first time, a privately funded spacecraft arrived at the International Space Station. The SpaceX Dragon docked this morning. It was delayed about 45 minutes as the crew worked through an issue with an onboard video camera. Inside the capsule was 3 private paying customers and a former NASA astronaut. This trip to the ISS will last for about 10 days. A sign of spring this weekend in Washington, D.C. The White House gardens are open to the public. Tours are usually available one weekend in the spring and one weekend in the fall. Since the gardens are open to the public, President Biden is spending the weekend away from the White House. He's back at his home in Delaware. It was an historic week in our nation's capital. On Thursday, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court, where she will be the first black woman to sit on the bench. But here in southern Wisconsin, we're also seeing a black woman break barriers in the courtroom. Tomorrow on For the Record, Naomi Coles talks with a local attorney just appointed by Governor Evers to serve in the Rock County Circuit Court.
For Ashley Morse, Judge Jackson's confirmation hearing was a moment for her own history book.
What is it like for you watching that?
It's been emotional watching it, more emotional than I thought.
Morse does face painting for kids, and she compared it to when a child sees themselves in the mirror as a superhero for the first time.
I feel like I can see myself reflected in my superheroes.
She was the first in her family to go to college.
I would spend my summers working with my mom in a hardware factory, packaging hardware, trying to save up enough money to support myself through school.
And it was childhood trauma, the kind shared by so many who will be in her courtroom, that first sparked her interest in law.
My father was incarcerated kind of off and on for most of my life. We really didn't have a strong, close relationship.
And rather than an ideology, it's those experiences that she'll remember as she makes decisions about others from the Rock County bench.
I hope that everybody leaves my courtroom feeling like they've, been treated fairly, been treated with dignity and respect, have had an opportunity to be heard.
The full conversation airs tomorrow morning at 10:30. She begins her time as a judge in Rock County on Monday. Fish, reptiles, and plants, oh my. After the break, if you can no longer take care of it, why local experts say the best thing you can do with an exotic pet is to give it back. Plus, the temps are turning the corner, but how long will this spring-like weather last? Gary's back right after the break.
Exciting things call for a drum roll, like this new offer on one of Wisconsin's favorite lotto games. It's Super Cash with Lightning Ball. During April, there's a 1 in 3 chance that the Lightning Ball strikes a set of 2 plays. When it does, players get an extra number, which means better odds of winning a prize. Top prize not included. Only in April. This exciting offer from the Wisconsin Lottery is going fast.
We've got your back, Road Warriors. Because we know you want to get back to going your speed. Steering life at 10 and 2. You're hitting the road, and we're helping you get there with confidence. Soon, you'll get back to skipping the counter without missing a beat. Back to choosing any car in the aisle. Back to being the boss of you. Go National. Go like a pro.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need. At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
At Johnsonville, we ask crazy questions every day. Like, what if we made strips of sausage that look like bacon? Would they taste better than bacon? Turns out 1 in 4 Americans like Johnsonville sausage strips better than bacon. Then we asked, Can someone who likes sausage strips better than bacon still be considered American? Then we remembered. You can't spell sausage without USA. Johnsonville sausage strips, better than bacon, and possibly more American.
Things were really starting to turn worse for my mom. They basically said, that's all we can do.
Right to try is hope when there is no hope.
We had done research on the Zysamy. Apparently it was still in stage 3 clinical trials.
She couldn't have that medication unless it was for the Right to Try Act and Senator Johnson's work.
So this is 3 days after the treatment, and you can see the difference. You know, without the efforts of Senator Johnson, my mom wouldn't be here today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Watching News 3 Now at 6.
It was a day to learn and protect some of nature's most interesting creatures at the Leopold Nature Center this afternoon, as folks who can no longer take care of their exotic pets got a chance to give them back to a local nature group as rescues. Event organizers say many times when people can no longer take care of their exotic animals, they release them back into the wild, which is horrible for pets, and it's why events like today are crucial.
Don't have options for their unwanted pets, they tend to let them go. And that's, in our harsh Wisconsin winters, a lot of pets will just die off. But on the flip side of that, they could become invasive species. So we do these events to give people an option for their unwanted pets.
Animals accepted today included several types of reptiles, fish, and birds. And by the time our crew left, at least 20 exotic pets have been rescued. Speaking of pets, we are seeing video of an incredible rescue in Los Angeles. A man jumping into the LA River to save a stranger's dog. Nicole Comstock has that story.
I just hung off the side of the wall and jumped in. You know, I just let myself drop.
He dropped 14 feet down into the LA River and wrestled a raging current during a rainstorm, risking his own life to rescue a stranger's dog.
Oh, that dog was scared.
But the heroic effort left Dustin Lemming in need of his own rescue.
They did have to rescue me. Thank God they did.
As rescue helicopters circled above his home in Sherman Oaks last week, he and his mom ran to the river out back and saw Scooby struggling to keep his head above the water. Well, this iron worker couldn't help himself.
Well, I really originally want to be a veterinarian.
It's second nature for him to help an animal in need.
I told her, I said, look, Mom, that dog's in the river. I'm going in the river. I'm going to save that dog. And she goes, you better not, Dustin. And I told her, look, I'm going in.
But first, he'd have to run ahead of him.
I think it was probably like 1.5 miles down where I finally caught up to him.
When he finally got into the waist-high water and got his arms around Scooby.
Yeah, I was telling him, it's okay, buddy, you're gonna be all right.
The terrified German Shepherd sunk his teeth into his arms.
That current is stronger than you think.
Dustin says it became too hard to hold on. Scooby wiggled out of his arms and eventually the current carried him away.
Oh man, if that dog dies, I'm gonna be so sad.
But it was not a lost cause. Scooby survived. He floated downriver to a shallow spot where rescue crews eventually got him to safety. And the next day, we met up with his mom.
Thank you so much for all the love out there and the support.
Dustin says he's just glad that Scooby made it back home, and there was no way he was drowning on his watch.
Everybody got their phones out, and they wanted to take videos and, you know, not take action. So I try to help them out.
What an awesome story. All right, some severe weather is possible by Wednesday, and there's now an alert day in the forecast. Gary's back with your certified most accurate forecast.
Yeah, Brad, we have that alert day in the forecast for Wednesday and Wednesday night for the potential for some severe thunderstorms. There could even be an isolated severe thunderstorm as early as Tuesday night, with hail being the main threat. But the main show will probably be later Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening ahead of a cold front when high winds, hail, and even the potential for isolated tornadoes are there. The Storm Prediction Center Day 4 severe weather outlook for Tuesday already has severe weather possibilities over much of Iowa, and the highest probability from about Kansas City back toward Oklahoma City. On Wednesday, the highest probability centered over Arkansas. This could be a fairly significant severe weather outbreak, and we're just going to be on the northern parts of it, with just mainly right ahead of the cold front. There could be several rounds of severe thunderstorms to our south, and you can see much of southwestern and south central Wisconsin under the severe weather risk already. What's going to happen is there's a warm front that'll be lifting northward. North of the warm front, winds will be out of the east. This will be about noon noon Tuesday, but watch what happens as we get into Tuesday night. The warm front lifts northward, the winds shift to the south of the front, temperatures actually start rising overnight, and this is the first batch of storms that could bring us the potential for some hail on Tuesday night. There may be a break during part of the day on Wednesday, and then as this powerful low pressure system gets revved up and a cold front starts sweeping eastward, but notice by midnight on Wednesday, that's when the cold front comes through, and severe thunderstorms are a possibility along and ahead of the front through Wednesday evening. But by Thursday, notice the wind shift to the west and northwest, cold enough for snow as far south as La Crosse, as much colder air moves in toward the end of the week. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast: dry weather with temperatures in the 50s and 60s, 50s for Sunday and Monday, and then 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Then the potential for some severe weather Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday, and then much colder weather expected on toward the end of the week. As we look at current temperatures, at least we're back in the 50s, still a little bit below normal, but notice to the south and west, temperatures in the 80s over parts of western Kansas. We're starting to see that warmth build to our south and west, and as all this warm air heads northeastward, and notice temperatures compared to yesterday at this time, about 10 to 20 degrees warmer, that's when we'll start to see that change toward the potential for some severe weather for the middle part of the week. So for tomorrow, look for partly sunny skies in the morning, more clouds in the afternoon, but it'll be windy and milder with a high temperature of 56. 7 to 10 day forecast, a slight chance for an evening shower or thunderstorm tomorrow night, 58 on Monday, then thunderstorms Tuesday into Wednesday with the severe weather threat highest on Wednesday. But look what happens after the storms. Temperatures drop back, a chilly Easter weekend, and even some rain and snow showers at times.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. It is moving day at the Masters for Tiger Woods and Scotty Scheffler. We're going to take you to Augusta next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Jordan is soul for the mornings. Choose to be grateful. The tune of Georgia football, where books meet Black Mecca. Should you move to Canada? Grasping French, à la fois, tragedy in the Middle East, trumpet and freedom, and spirit, thought, and jazz. The mystery of that Basquiat, a shrimp creole for our time. That healing saxophone thing, mixing it up Brazilian style. What feelings sound like? Finding a voice far away.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, AKA EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
LMK.
HBD Gordon. HBDY.
LOL, look at this GIF. It's GIF, FWIW.
ROTFL.
You see my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long, didn't read.
Okay.
We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
BMX, YOLO!
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
SMH.
For decades, Washington politicians have promised to lower the cost of prescription drugs. But every year the prices go up. Why? Because Republicans like Ron Johnson, and let's be honest, too many Democrats don't have the guts to stand up to the pharmaceutical companies. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and I will. I want to bring practical solutions to Washington. That's what I've done as state treasurer. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and the big drug companies may not approve this message, but I do.
It's still the Eat Fresh Refresh, and now Subway's refreshing their Italians. Like the new Supreme Meats, topped high with new Italian-style capicola. That's one half from Italian.
Thanks.
Not you, Garoppolo. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
These squirrels are better at saving than we are. And more organized, too.
Try embracing your inner squirrel. When you open a BMO Harris Savings Builder account, you get a cash reward every month you save.
That sounds great.
You can also set up savings goals and easily track your progress.
That could help us redo the yard.
You could really go nuts. I'll show myself out.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
A Lake Mills resident stuck on a waiting list for boat slip access. A wait that could last a lifetime. And some who have access don't even live here.
The city residents should have that benefit.
Leah Lynchide spotlights this call for action Sunday at 10.
It's moving day at
at Augusta National, and while all eyes are on Tiger Woods and his incredible comeback, Scottie Scheffler is also capturing a lot of attention. Coming into the third round, Scheffler held a record-tying lead of 5 strokes, but it's a bit of an up-and-down round for Scheffler. He finishes the day with 5 birdies and 4 bogeys, but still holds strong atop the leaderboard. And checking in with Woods, he struggled out there this afternoon. 3 straight bogeys, including a double on the back 9, put him 7 over overall. And tied for 41st, here's a look at that current board. Scheffler staying on top at 9 under, holds a 3-stroke lead heading into the final round, which airs here on CBS tomorrow beginning at 1. Opening week resumes for the Brewers and Cubs after Game 2 got postponed because of weather. Brandon Woodruff on the bump, and it is an ugly outing for him. Gives up 3 runs in the first inning. Then Jose Urena gets jammed up in the 4th, allowing the Cubs to extend their lead. Well, tensions were running high at Wrigley this afternoon. Several players hit by pitches, and finally, the boiling point is reached. Andrew McCutchen gets hit in the 8th. Bench is clear. Keegan Thompson is ejected. The Cubs come away with the 9-0 shutout. Wisconsin softball returns to action after some time off. The Badgers had their midweek series with UW Green Bay canceled, and the series opener with Illinois turned into a doubleheader. Now, the Illini took Game 1 earlier this afternoon. Badgers hoping to lock up Game 2, but a 4-run inning by Illinois is going to make it kind of tricky. Kayla Conwent finally comes up with a big hit for the Badgers in the 6th inning. She drives in a run to avoid a shutout. Then Jolie Fish cuts the Illini lead to just 2 runs following a solo homer, but UW just can't get it done. They fall 4-2. The series finale is set for tomorrow at noon. Spring is all about growth, and that's exactly what Paul Chris is seeing in his players as they wrap up week 3 of practice, specifically seeing that development under center. This offseason, Graham Mertz set a couple of goals for himself. 1, take better care of the ball, and 2, start becoming the quarterback he wants to be, which is the complete QB. After 3 weeks of practice, it's become clear he's making those strides.
I do think he's been real purposeful in the way that he's approaching it, and I think he's understanding what we're trying to do. And it's a unique situation for him, I think, where he's got more experience than the guy other than maybe Chin. He's got more experience than those around him, so you've got to learn how to progress with a little bit different set of circumstances he's had last year.
Jordan, one more day of the Masters. It's pretty awesome out there, and the weather was great out there. How's our weather looking, Gary?
Well, good enough to, I'm sure, for people to be out on the courses over the next couple of days before the rain gets here. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Clear skies there. How about that from the WISC Skycam? Nice to show these pictures when we have clear skies instead of clouds like we've had recently. But clouds will be back for the middle part of the week, but this time it won't be snow. It'll be the potential for some severe weather Wednesday and Wednesday night for high winds, hail, and perhaps even isolated tornadoes. So an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. You can see the severe weather threat day 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. Very rare that you get a severe weather outlook that far in advance, but that's exactly what it looks like. Doppler track right now, pretty quiet across the upper Midwest. No snow or rain. Temperatures right around 50 in Madison, 54 in Janesville. A little colder to the east. Notice temperatures only in the upper 30s close to Lake Michigan. That's pretty typical this time of year. Look for a low tonight of about 32. High tomorrow 56 with more clouds in the afternoon, and it will become windy. Monday should be a nice day, and then thunderstorms arrive Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Could even be an outside threat for a severe thunderstorm Tuesday night, but Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, the main threat. And look what happens to temperatures as we head back toward Easter weekend. Boom, back into the 40s and some rain and snow shower chances.
All right, Gary, thank you so much, and thanks so much for joining us. We will see you tonight at 10.
And it's easy to get a quote at Liberty Mutual.